Hello, Tamara Schenk here. Welcome to my webinar, How to Annihilate All Fear so you can manifest your life's purpose. Before we go into it, please let me know that you can hear me and that you can see my screen by typing a Y in the text chat. Thank you. Technology is working. That's great. So let's get right into it. Did you ever try to get something in life, but it felt like something was blocking you and you weren't able to get it? Do you want to stop self-sabotaging your own efforts? And do you want to stop standing in your own way? And do you want to get rid of your underlying fears without having to attend endless therapy sessions and without having to attend another goal-setting program? And without having to work harder, doing more of the same things you've always done, but expecting different results. If that sounds like you, you're exactly in the right place. Again, welcome to this webinar, How to Annihilate All Fear so you can manifest your life's purpose. So here is what you will learn in this webinar. You will learn how symptoms of worries, fear, and self-sabotage are based on auric attachments in your energy field. You will learn why your current energy frequency determines your current experience of life. You will also learn more about the 9 most critical symptoms of auric attachments. You will also learn how fear actually attracts entities in your energy field, in your auric field, that want to keep you in a low energy state. And most importantly, you will also learn how to get permanently clear from all auric attachments using the Advanced Auric Clearing Protocol. And when you stay until the end of the webinar, you will experience a clearing of one of your chakras. As well, I will be making an offer to help you to annihilate all fears and self-sabotage so that you can manifest your desired outcomes and live the life you want, your soul's purpose. Whether or not you get this offer, I suspect you will find tremendous value in this webinar. Let's look at the big problem. So the big problem here really is that you most probably have auric attachments in your energy field, in your auric field, that cause you to sabotage your own efforts and that are actually holding you back in all areas of your life, in your professional life, in your private life, your family life, your friendships, your finances, also your health and your well-being, and of course also your personal and spiritual development. Furthermore, you don't even know about the situation, about the background of it, and you don't know what to do about it. Does this sound like you? Would you say from yourself that others can easily push your buttons? Just let me know in the text chat. Yes, it's coming down the screen. Does this sound like you, that you frequently freak out and sometimes you don't even know why you freaked out in a specific situation? More yeses. Are you often angry or do you often have negative thoughts? Just let me know in the text chat. More yeses. Thanks a lot for being honest with yourself here. Or does this sound like you? Are you often fearful or constantly worried about the future? Okay, that was the tipping point. Lots of yeses here on that question. Again, thanks for being honest with yourself. It's not about being honest with me, it's about being honest with you, because only if you recognize these things for yourself, then you can actually going to change them. Let me ask you this. Do you often feel low energy, especially when you're surrounded by other people? More yeses are coming down the screen. Do you experience apathy, mood swings, and irritation with life in general up to a point that you say, you know what, I don't care anymore about anything? Anybody here who would say yes? Yeah, thanks for being honest with that one. Let me ask you this. Are you an emotional eater, or do you have a tendency to overeat, especially in stressful situations? Yeses. Thank you. The last one. Do you have lots of inner voices in your head that really drive you crazy so that you basically sabotage your own efforts? Again, thanks for your honesty. These are all symptoms of having auric attachments in your energy field. So we will discuss these symptoms in greater detail in a couple of moments. But first of all, most of you showed 5 or more yeses to the symptoms that I just asked you. So again, thanks for being honest, and there is a solution to that problem, promised. The key is, as long as these auric attachments are not cleared, you will attract the same people, the same places, the same situations repeatedly as they correspond to your current low energy frequency. So in the webinar, you will finally learn how to overcome your worries, your fears, and negative emotions, and negative thought forms, and how to stop feeling paralyzed and stuck like you don't belong here. In the webinar, you will also learn what types of energetic blockages of auric attachments actually exist and how they negatively impact you in all areas of your life, in your professional life, your personal life, your relationships, your finances, your health and well-being, and always in an emotional way, in a mental, physical, and spiritual way. You will also learn, and that is most important, that's the solution, how to clear all auric attachments with 15-dimensional codes and the new Advanced Auric Clearing Protocol to raise your energy frequency in a significant way, because only then, only with an increased energy frequency, are you actually able to attract different people, different places, different things, different times, and different situations. Before we go into the details of the symptoms, how auric attachments work, and what to do about it, I want to share a bit more about myself. My name is Tamara Schenk, and I live in Wiesbaden in Germany with my husband and my soul cats. So I spent more than 25 years in the corporate world. So I had various roles. I had consulting roles, I had sales roles, business development roles, and things like that. And the last 10 years were dedicated to an area I was really, and still I am passionate about it, which is called sales enablement. And this is all about how to educate and empower sales organizations to be more effective and more valuable for their modern buyers in the digital age. So I had a VP role at T-Systems. I had a global research director role at CSO Insights, and now I'm serving as a strategic advisor and consultant to those organizations while I'm building my energy field mastery business here. So for me, the things are always connected, and I will tell you with my story why they are so connected to me. So I have always been fascinated by energy already as a child. So the vital life force energy that flows through all of us, that connects us with source, was always something I could feel naturally. So of course, as a child, I couldn't understand why God should be something that's outside of us. So it didn't make any sense to me. So the vital life force energy that drives all of us, that was within me, it was flowing through me. This is what I could feel as a child. So as you can imagine, I was very isolated with my perspective as a child in school, and also my parents weren't even close to understanding what I was feeling at this time. So I always said that I want to develop myself as best as possible to be able to help others. And whenever I was asked to visualize what I wanted to do with my life or how my vision would look like, I always intuitively created a big tree, and I visualized with a big tree with strong roots and deep roots connected to the earth, but also connected to the heaven at the same time. So then I went to university, I had my first jobs, and then I got into consulting roles. So it was a bit more than 15 years ago when I started to question the consulting job I had at this time. So clearly that wasn't any longer in line with who I was at soul level. I got very strange projects with just ton of turnover, challenges to reduce projects, to reduce workforce, things like that. So that really made me sick, literally. So my first attempt to solve this problem led me to a spiritual weekend seminar. So lots of rituals were done, such as trust falls, arrow breaking, things like that. It helped me at this point to integrate more aspects of myself, and then a few months later I could finally solve my professional problem at this time. So I found another role that was a lot more in line with who I am. So I was back in a role where I could create something and inspire people and create value for clients. Ever since, because my soul discovery journey was initiated, so ever since I've taken classes, I traveled around the world and learned and practiced and worked on myself a lot. So I came in touch and learned a lot about rituals and various energy healing techniques and soul access techniques. And for a long time, I actually enjoyed these workshops and rituals, but something was missing. So I didn't find a system of effective improvement techniques that I could use and it really made a lasting difference that I could apply for myself and others. So that changed when I learned about Toby Alexander's work. So over the last couple of years, I found my spiritual and my personal growth home in his work and his teachings. So his teachings made a huge difference to me. So when I got my soul reading, that was about 5 years ago from him, I received lots of insights and also very practical insights. I could implement them right away in my personal life, in my professional life, in the research role I had at this time. And the related auric and soul level clearing helped me to clear lots of blockages, I can tell you, so that I found the courage to take the next steps towards my future as a practitioner of these teachings. So these teachings were the key to me that allowed me to change the direction of my life. I finally found a system with proven methods, processes, and protocols that I started to use for myself on an ongoing basis, and then I also started to use them for my first clients a couple of years ago. Ever since, I learned a lot and practiced even more, and I became a certified Advanced Auric Clearing Practitioner and also an Advanced Karma Clearing Practitioner. And earlier this year, I also became one of Toby's licensed certified Auric Clearing Master Healers. So humanity really needs lots of healing in the Advanced Auric Clearing. This is, to me, the essence to it. That should always be the first step to get started. And whenever you do something for yourself on an individual level, you also help the collective, the humanity on the planet. It's also part of my mission, not only empowering human potential in that specific sense, but it's also important to me that I connect the dots between assumed different worlds so that I make these things, these highly effective techniques, available to people in a language they hopefully can easily understand, presented in their context, so what's really important to them. So that really is another aspect of my mission. So I'm your key resource for transmutation and regeneration. I'm really dedicated to raising the energy frequency for you individually and on the planet collectively. So in a nutshell, what I really love to do, this is to assisting people, committed people like you, to clear the energetic blockages, the different steps, raise the energy frequency, and help them to leverage their soul, their life's potential. So I mentioned empowering human potential a couple of times. So there are actually 4 steps on this journey. So the first one is clearing all auric attachments from your energy field. That's the advanced auric clearing. The second step is clearing all karmic imprints with an advanced karma clearing. So this covers everything from inherited karmic imprints from your genetic parents up to negative karmic imprints you created consciously or unconsciously yourself in this lifetime or in previous incarnations. Step number 3 is a very powerful, highly effective DNA activation. And step number 4 is reading from your soul's Akashic records, your specific soul insights, and your manifesting blueprint. So if you learn and know what the energies are you're most abundant in, and if you also know how your soul is wired when it comes to successful and effective manifestation. So this information is really priceless when it comes to living the life you desire. And today we're going to focus on step number 1, clearing your auric field. Let's begin with your energy field, your energy anatomy. Yes, you are more than your physical body. You also have an energy body, your auric field. Based on quantum physics, we know that everything in our universe is energy. So everything is made of energy. Your body, my desk, your chair, my laptop, everything. It is the different frequencies that allow us to perceive something as solid and something else as not solid, as not tangible. And then we have the tendency to assume that things that are not tangible will be less important. You know, this is just a thought form that's in our cultures, in our societies, and you will learn in this webinar why this is not true. The higher the energy frequency, the less dense is the matter. That's a general principle. So that means that all objects you perceive as solid are dense. And that means that they have a low energy frequency. And everything you don't perceive as solid, as your energy field, your auric field, has a higher energy frequency. So this science is based on the work of Albert Einstein and Max Planck back in the early 20th century. And many other excellent quantum scientists followed to develop and enrich the quantum model fast forward to today. So both things exist, your physical body and your energy body. Now, as you can see here, you have 7 embodied chakras, from the first chakra, the root chakra, up to the 7th chakra, the crown chakra on top of your head. What are chakras? Chakras are energy centers. They distribute a vital life force energy you receive from source. And source can be called God, universe, essence, the infinite, whatever term works best for you, that's your term. So for now, let's go with the term source. In addition to these 7 embodied chakras, you also have 8 so-called morphogenetic chakras. So 4 of those are above your head and the other 4 are below your feet. So that means that you are much bigger than just your physical body. And also an interesting fact for you, and this is about the 13th chakra. So the 13th chakra below your feet always connects you to the earth. The earth is nothing completely different and outside of you, not at all. So you are always and already connected to the earth. And the connector for you, that is your 13th chakra. Now let's look at your energy field in a bit more detail. The 7 embodied chakras and the 8 morphogenetic chakras represent together your 15 chakras, and each chakra corresponds to a certain dimension. So for instance, chakra 1 C1 corresponds to dimension 1 D1. So this is where the term 15-dimensional energy anatomy comes from. As you can see here on the image, if you look at the center of this image here, then you see that each chakra corresponds to a certain color, and each color represents a certain energy frequency. So for example, the root chakra C1 here at the center represents the color red and the frequency of the color red. So the second chakra represents the color orange and the frequency of the color orange. So the higher the number of the chakras and the related dimensions, the higher is the energy frequency and the less dense is the matter. So D1, your physical body, has the lowest energy frequency and the highest density. And D15 in this image, the outer ring, so represented with the color pale magenta, has the highest energy frequency and the lowest density of all these 15 chakras that I mentioned. So from the inside to the outside, from D1 to D15, the energy frequency increases and the density decreases. Also interesting for you, and additional information, the first 3 chakras and the 3 related dimensions, D1, D2, D3, represent your incarnate self, so your physical, emotional, mental body. D4, D5, and D6 represent your soul identity, and the dimensions D7, 8, and 9 represent your oversoul identity, followed by your Christus avatar identity, the next 3 dimensions, and then the Rishi identity. Now let's talk a bit more about auric attachments and why you can imagine them to be roadblocks. As you just learned, your chakras are energy centers and you have a complex chakra system, right? So imagine there are no blockages at all, no attachments at all. So then you can receive the maximum amount of vital life force energy. And now imagine your chakra system as a motorway, as a highway. So if there are no roadblocks on that highway, on that motorway, you can drive full speed, right? Now, if you have energetic blockages, so-called auric attachments in your chakra system, that means roadblocks on that street, you cannot drive full speed, right? So the more blockages you have, the slower you can drive on that road, correct? And this is exactly what auric attachments do. In general, they slow your energy frequency down quite significantly the more you have. And even more important, they also create unpleasant symptoms that prevent you from living your life's mission and your life's purpose. That actually cause self-sabotage. So we talked about these symptoms and you showed me lots of yeses when we talked about these symptoms a couple of minutes ago. And that's most probably why your current challenges are centered around those symptoms. Now let's go a bit deeper into auric attachments and let's look at the 3 categories of auric attachments. So the first category is called discarnates, and I can tell you right away, discarnates are the worst category. So those are the worst auric attachments. So what are discarnates? Discarnates are entities that have passed away, but they didn't make it through the tunnel to the plane of bliss. So what that means is they are stuck in the middle, and that means that they still need food. They still need something to exist. So, and what they like as food is energy from incarnate people, from incarnate souls, and especially the energy from negative emotions. That's their preferred food. So this is why they then attach to incarnate souls and live from their negative emotions, and that's a low frequency energy. Yeah, so this is why you definitely want to get rid of these auric attachments of discarnates right away, because they cause the worst symptoms, and we go into the details in a minute. So the next category of auric attachments are occupants. So occupants are also called chakra attachments. So an occupant is created in an analog situation of no time. So now what does that mean? So it means if you experience an accident, if you get a horrible message, if you experience an abuse, an emotional, mental, or even a physical abuse, so something that makes the time to stop for you in that moment. So that is a situation where occupants are created. And now it depends on the emotion you feel in that moment of no time, what kind of occupant is created and to what chakra this occupant will attach to. So if the emotion is to feel like a victim in a situation of an abuse, you create an occupant in the second chakra. If your self-esteem is hurt in a really challenging way, then you create an occupant in the solar plexus chakra. And if you experience a betrayal, the occupant goes to the heart chakra, and so on. So it really depends on the emotion you feel in that moment of no time where the occupant goes to. And we will talk in a minute about what they actually create, the so-called buttons others can push later on. Now the third category is about portals. So portals are openings in your energy field, and if there are too many portals open, then you run into a situation that your energy field can't keep the vital life force energy from source. So it's basically coming in through one opening and you lose it to another portal. And if you have too many open portals, you lose too much energy, and then we really have to restore your energy field's integrity first, if you will. As I said, discarnates are the worst auric attachments because the more worries, fear, and negative emotions you experience, the more discarnates you attract. So who of you here would say, yes, I have a lot of worries, I have a lot of fears, and I experience negative emotions, especially this year with all the COVID things going on? Yeah, you already said yes earlier on, so lots of yeses are coming down the screen. So I can tell you right away, you're required to clear these discarnates if you want to have a different experience of life. Yes, I show you what to do about it and how to do it. We come to that. Yes. So now let's talk about the symptoms in a bit more detail. Symptoms of discarnates, just what we said, these are the entities that didn't make it through the plane of bliss, that are in between and still need energy as their food. So if you frequently freak out, and lots of you said, yes, this is what I experienced a couple of minutes ago, then you absolutely have discarnates in your energy field. If you hear yourself saying something you didn't want to say, and if you observe yourself doing something you didn't want to do, and especially if you really often freak out and you then ask yourself, why did I do this? It wasn't my intention. Then you can be absolutely sure that discarnates in your field have taken over this situation. So you're required to stop that to experience different things in your life. More symptoms of discarnates. So if you are often angry and have negative thoughts, then you are the perfect incarnate soul for discarnates, because they love this energy from negative emotions and thoughts as their food. So what they're actually doing is these discarnates pulse so-called automated negative thoughts into your mind to make sure that you keep in that low energy frequency state, because that secures their food source. Does it make sense? Yes. So yes, that's the problem. This is the magnitude of the problem. Absolutely right, Ellen. Now, more symptoms of discarnates is if you have lots of inner voices in your head and you sabotage yourself a lot, then you can also be 100% sure that there are discarnates in your energy field that require to be cleared. Now, symptoms of occupants. So I already mentioned this briefly when I explained to you how occupants are created in these analog situations of no time. So when something horrible happens, that the time seems to stop for you. This is when an occupant is created. Now, what that means in practical terms is that a button has been implemented in your energy field others can push later on. So that means when you run into a similar situation again, then let's say you experience the first time a betrayal and a relationship betrayal, and then a button has been created in your heart chakra. Now you're in another relationship and you experience again a betrayal situation, and then your body already knows how to react. So basically this button gets pushed by a similar experience, which is what happens when we say others can push my buttons. They basically push a button where you already have a program stored behind that button that knows what to do. So that means you're in a situation that as soon as the button is pushed again, that you run kind of an automated program, how to deal with that situation, how to react to it. So that's not what you want. Yeah, you want to be sovereign in every situation, and you want to consciously choose how to respond in any given situation, right? So imagine these buttons, these occupants as malware on your computer, or just as software programs that no longer serve you. You just don't need them anymore. They're of no value anymore for your life's mission going forward. So we want to simply deinstall and de-implement these buttons and the underlying programs. Does that make sense? Yes, first time you heard the buttons being explained. Thank you. Yeah, this is really the story behind it. Yeah. So, more symptoms of occupants. If you experience apathy, mood swings, and irritation with life in general, you definitely have occupants, probably in several chakras in your energy field. So we definitely have to clear those, especially if there are really irritations with life in general, if you lack clarity or the ability to make choices so that you can have a different experience, then there are definitely a couple of occupants at different chakras that require to be cleared. Another symptom of occupants is that you're often fearful or constantly worried about the future. So there is lots of fear going on the planet right now, so the increase of fear is just unbelievable, and it really keeps you in a kind of paralyzed situation, because if fear blocks your second chakra, if you have fear and worry-driven occupants at the second chakra, and that's the chakra that stands for manifestation, then you have a hard time to get anything done in the way you want it. So clearing these occupants is required for another reason, and this is because the more fear you experience, the more discarnates you attract into your field. So we talked about that a minute ago. So you don't want to have these occupants, and you don't want to attract discarnates in your field, so those require to be cleared. Also, worries and anxiety, all these things are related to occupants in the second chakra. So it is really important to clear those if you want to have a different experience of your life. So here are some more symptoms of occupants. Every time you set a new goal, you don't achieve it, or you suffer from low self-esteem. So the first one, that's related to occupants in the second chakra. If self-esteem is concerned, then there are occupants in the solar plexus chakra. If you don't love yourself, then there are definitely blockages in the heart chakra. And if you don't feel empowered to speak up or to speak your truth, then occupants in the throat chakra are definitely the issue here. And if you lack clarity and focus and intuition, then blockages in the sixth chakra are more than likely. Also, if you don't have your desired body weight, so could you please let me know who here of you doesn't have their desired body weight in the text chat? Yeah, I know that's a personal question. Yes, thanks. Or a few yeses are here. Thanks a lot. So you probably didn't think about it that way, but also here's a relation between occupants and your physical weight. So the more energetic blockages you have in your energy field, the bigger is your so-called etheric weight, and that impacts your physical weight as well. So also that's a reason why occupants require to be cleared. Now let's look at symptoms of portals. If you feel low energy most of the time, then you lose incoming vital life force energy right away through open portals. So that means your energy field can actually not hold the vital life force energy that comes from source. So there are too many open portals, you lose it right away, and then you don't have enough vital life force energy available to you. So if you have been diagnosed with chronic fatigue, then they absolutely require to close your open portal. So that's very often one of the root causes of chronic fatigue, is that it's really required to restore your energy field's integrity first and foremost. Yeah, that makes a big difference. More symptoms of portals. You feel low energy, especially when you are surrounded by other people, because then you take in their unfinished business and their emotions, usually their negative emotions. So this is especially important for you if you're in a role of serving others. So if you're a coach or a mentor, or if you're in a teaching role, in a training role, in any kind of enablement role, if you're used to give to others, and if you then have too many open portals, then you run exactly in that problem, that you basically burn out of own energy, and you take in too much stuff from other people, from your clients, and so on, especially the negative emotions. And then it's absolutely mandatory to close your portals. Yeah. Also here it's about restoring your energy field's integrity, because only if you're empowered in yourself are you able to help others. Ultimately, auric attachments make you sick. So every physical symptoms, ache or pain, any inflammation and infection, is basically a result of an auric attachment, of an energy blockage that has been for a long time in your energy field. So if auric attachments then are not cleared, they eventually manifest physically in many different ways, as an ache, as a pain, or as a disease. So this is not something, I made up or something like this. This is actually based on a lot of science. Yeah, it's not popular science you can read about in many different portals, but there is an amazing book from Richard Gerber, MD, and the book is called Vibrational Medicine, and he has taken lots of work to collect all the studies across the planet in different contextual situations. And one of the key messages out of this book really is this one: changes in the etheric structure precede pathological changes of illness in the physical body. It really has been demonstrated in many different ways in a very impressive manner, and you can read more about in that book. So basically, auric attachments at the end of the day make you physically sick. So this is why it is so very important to take care of your energy field in the same way as you take care of your physical body. Yeah, does it make sense? Yes, excellent. Let's talk about the current state of affairs on the planet. So negativity was already growing at an all-time rate. Now, with the COVID crisis going on the planet, with all the lockdown situations going on, people have developed even more worries and more stress and more anxieties and definitely more fears. So these lockdown scenarios really bringing all your unfinished business to your awareness. Now, all this stuff is at the surface, and this is the opportunity. In all the craziness, there is always an opportunity, and the opportunity here is that the unfinished business is now, presents itself in front of you. You're aware of it, and you now have the opportunity to clear it now. So, and this is really important for a couple of reasons, because the overall frequency on the planet is already very low, and the negativity affects us all, also positive souls. So it is really very important to do the next step, to do the next required step, and start clearing auric attachments right away. As I said, clearing your auric field has never been more important than now. In this crazy year 2020 with so much worries, fear, and anxiety going on, because it is for you individually as valuable as it is for humanity collectively. Now, based on your feedback early on when we talked about the symptoms you're experiencing in your life right now, most of you counted more than 5 symptoms of auric attachments. Yeah, you had even more than 5. Then it's even more important to do something about it, right? Yeah, so now, as promised, here is your clearing experience. I will now clear your head chakras for you so that you can feel it and you can experience what it actually does for you. Okay, let's get right into it. So this is one of the codes I mentioned earlier on, one of these 15-dimensional codes that are used together with the protocols and the commands from the protocols to process the clearing. So if you tune into this code and engage with it and you feel how this code is interacting with you, that they're really very, very powerful and very strong. So I will guide you through a few breathing exercises to calm your inner rhythm a little bit down, and then we go right into the clearing. It will not take more than a couple of minutes. Inhale on the count of 4. Hold it on 4. And exhale on 8. Once more, inhale. And hold it. And exhale. And once more, inhale. And hold it. And exhale. Now, again, focus on this code. Inhale it through your third eye. And then close your eyes. I'm connecting to your higher self. It is commanded in the name of divine love that this code be used to clear all occupants in the head of everyone here on the webinar permanently now. Te Asia and Taroe. Just keep breathing. This can be heavy for some of you. Just allow it to happen. Whatever you experience is fine. Just let it go, whatever comes up. Just keep breathing as the clearing is in progress. So now the clearing just went quantum, which means these occupants are transmuted. So how did you experience this clearing of your head chakras? Let me know in the text chat. Liberating, fabulous, Lots of things you could let go. Excellent. You could feel the clearing. Things leaving your energy field. Oh, that's beautiful. Excellent. So, do you have any questions I can answer for you? I know we covered a lot of ground so far, so just let me know if you have any questions. Yeah, just type it in the text chat. Yeah, so questions are coming in. So there are a few on physical symptoms such as stuttering, thyroid gland, back pain, if it works for those. Yeah, so whatever the physical symptom is, what the Advanced Auric Clearing does is clearing the energetic root cause of these issues, and that can be any kind of auric attachment, so all the different categories we covered today. So clearing these energetic blockages, we are removing the root cause, the energetic root cause of the symptom you just described, if this is a voice-related issue, thyroid gland issue, back pain, as an example. Yeah, and based on your question, the root cause already manifested physically in the form of one of these symptoms as a disease. That means the underlying blockage has been already in your etheric field for a long time. Now, if the root cause is cleared, then the body has nothing to manifest from. Does this make sense? Yeah. So, as an example, I had a client with challenges to speak up, so in a way that her voice was not really flowing very well when she was talking. So it was far away from stuttering, but you could feel that she felt uncomfortable with her voice while speaking, and there wasn't any flow when she was speaking or presenting, and as you can imagine, this really impacted her business quite a lot. So after her advanced auric clearing, she started to get into a flow again, and her voice sounds quite different now, a lot more in a flow. Yeah, and of course she's seen a positive impact on her business already. Another example, I have a client with a thyroid hypofunction, and he's going for annual checkups, and they always make an ultrasound and take measures of the thyroid gland and so on. And after the advanced auric clearing, the thyroid gland started to grow again and to become a bit bigger. So now, from a standard medicine perspective, this is something that cannot even happen. But it did. So he could lower the medication quite a bit, and he's feeling much better now. And more importantly, the actual challenges of not feeling comfortable when it comes to speaking up are completely gone. Now he's saying what he has to say. He got the inner confidence back to speak up and to articulate himself in a very natural way. Does that make sense? Yeah, what goes into back pain? So fears, anxieties, worries, all of this. So I mean, for back pain, I'm probably a good example. So it is more than a year ago. Then I had my mom still living at home, and she had a caretaker living with her because she has a walking disease, so she's in a wheelchair. So the caretakers changed quite frequently, and it was difficult for her to get along with any of those caretakers, and I had basically complaints from her or from the caretaker every single day. I had to manage all of this, and I'm more than 2 hours away from her, so it's just not something I can quickly go there and fix it. So when I went on a few days of vacation last year with all these worries going on, so the classical thing happened. Day 3 of my vacation, we went home from a beach walk and just wanted to go for a late lunch, and then I could feel, when I got out of the car, I could feel a knife cutting through my lower back. Boom. And then I lost my consciousness. And when I got back to my consciousness, I I felt an emergency doctor looking at me and talking to me. And so they insisted on taking me to the hospital. And I said, no, I've never been, since my birth, which is now more than 50 years ago, I've never been in a hospital. So that was really a no-go to me, and I didn't want to go there at all. So first of all, I had no choice right in that situation. But on the way to the hospital, I said, okay, I don't want to stay there. I want to go out as quick as possible. And why don't I just work on myself with all the techniques I know? So I started to use my advanced auric clearing techniques and protocols, worked on myself so I could lower the back pain quite significantly. I could walk again in a proper manner. So when I arrived in the hospital, they made some x-rays and things like that. And it wasn't a big deal at the end. It was really a muscle issue because of the stress. So my muscles could not relax anymore, which caused this pain. So I was a few hours later on, I was again out of the hospital. Yeah, so that's one example of where worries go to the second chakra, lower back pain. Yeah, also financial worries absolutely go to lower back pain. And this is the thing, you know, if your lower back, if the second chakra is blocked and manifestation requires a second chakra fully open and fully activated. Yes, this is really, that requires work. That requires a clearing, absolutely, yes. So are there any other questions I could help you with? How you can get this clearing, we come to this in a minute. So if there are no other questions, then let's move on. As promised, here is what I've got for you. Obviously, it's an advanced auric clearing service. So what this is about, it's a comprehensive energetic clearing service that clears all auric attachments, all the ones we covered today, from your 15-dimensional auric field. What it includes is that it clears every single energetic blockage that exists in this moment of the clearing permanently from your 15-dimensional energy anatomy. So that covers discarnates, it covers occupants, it covers portals, and also wormholes. It also includes a clearing of all negativity, a clearing of all interferences, and in addition, this process activates the 2 advanced auric clearing codes. So you've seen one code we work with for the experience I created for you. So these are 2 advanced auric clearing codes, different ones that are activated in your field and that address both your etheric body and your physical body. Here's in a nutshell what an advanced auric clearing will do for you. It clears all energetic blockages on all 15 levels of your awareness. It boosts your cells' energy and your immune system. So we basically activate your cell's energy holding frequency to its highest potential. It raises your energy frequency overall in a quite significant way, and it restores your energy field's integrity. So, in a nutshell, an advanced auric clearing is an energetic prerequisite for embodying your higher self and living the life you desire. This is how it works. This is an on-demand service. So you will get an access to the members area on my website. So you will have access forever. That means it's a lifetime access. What you will find there is an overview of the clearing process, how all this works step by step. I will then guide you into a relaxed state when I process this clearing of your 15-dimensional energy anatomy and implement the 2 advanced auric clearing codes into your field. At the end, you will get a soul update from the Cosmic App Store, if you will. So what that means is that you will get, based on your soul's divine blueprint, you will get everything a source has available for your soul. This is what we will download, and this is what will be integrated in your energy field as well. So in addition, you receive guidance regarding the integration, especially how to change your behavior after the clearing, because the key to success after the clearing is that you don't create any new attachments the next day. So you will get proper guidance on what to do after the clearing, how to do it. As you have access to your Advanced Auric Clearing Forever, you can repeat the process whenever necessary. So whenever you have the feeling you were running into a situation that created an occupant, when the time seemed to stop for you, you had a horrible experience in whatever shape or form, you can just go back to your Advanced Auric Clearing service and process the clearing again. What are the goals of this service? So the fundamental goal is really to become absolutely clear of any auric attachments at this point in time. Now the goal is to, as a consequence of that, to increase your energy frequency quite significantly. We learned that this is what you actually require to do to be able to achieve different results. Because only if you have a high energy frequency are you able to attract different people and different situations and different places. So also a goal of it is to boost your cell's energy and to restore your energy field's integrity. And that will lead you to a very practical goal for yourself, that you can stop, that you are able to stop self-sabotaging your own efforts, as you are no longer controlled by any auric blockages. Another goal, we talked about this in great detail, is to stop your worries, fear, and negativity in your life. Also here, because we cleared the underlying auric attachments. Now let's talk about the transformation you can get with this Advanced Auric Clearing service. It's basically all about empowering yourself, about empowering your potential. And that means to bring you in a situation where you are in your power. So only then are you able to embody your higher self. And only then are you able to follow your soul's highest path and purpose. And only then are you able to live the life you desired, to live your life's mission, your life's purpose, however you want to call it. And then are you able to achieve your desired outcomes. So all of this, all these transformational goals are only possible because we created the energetic prerequisite for it by clearing all these auric attachments first, plus by getting the guidance on what to do and how to do after the Advanced Auric Clearing. More about the transformation you get with this service is that due to the clearing, you increase your energy frequency in quite a significant way, and that is the prerequisite so that you can attract different situations, different people, different places, and different events. And only then can you achieve, yes, exactly, different results. Let's talk about who this is not for. So if you prefer to stay where you are, it's perfectly fine, but then this service is not for you. If you prefer to see the root cause of your current life experience in others, in the circumstances, in the world, in things that are outside of you, this is probably not for you. So if you are not committed to change your current state, then this service is also not for you. Also, if you're not willing to invest in yourself, in your own growth, or if you think that having information alone would already equal transformation, then this service is not the right thing for you. Let's talk about who this is for. So this service is perfect for you if you want to stop self-sabotaging your own efforts. This service is perfect for you if you want to live the life you desire and if you want to achieve your desired outcomes. It is perfect for you if you're open-minded and if you're ready to apply, if you're ready to take action now. It is for you if you're if you're used to invest in yourself because you know that this is the best investment you can ever make. And it is for you if you're committed to change your life and if you're committed to take action now. So here are a few testimonials I wanted to share with you. So you can see that I work on a global basis with my services. So on the left-hand side, there is a testimonial from Nicole in the US. So when she processed the Advanced Auric Clearing, first she was focused on implementing a business model in her own company that really didn't work out for herself, and it wasn't the right thing for her to do. So when she had the Advanced Auric Clearing, she was so much clearer about where to go and how to go it, so that she changed direction of her business, and she has now found a business model that works much better for who she is at soul level. So in the middle we have Davina in Kenya. She had a very challenging situation with a very difficult manager, to say the least. So it took her a lot of effort and energy to get out of the situation, and she knew after the Advanced Auric Clearing exactly what to do and how to deal with it. So she made huge progress in getting out of the situation. And now she's manifesting another big desire for her life, because she just gave birth to a baby boy a couple of weeks ago. And on the left-hand side, this is a great testimonial from Elke in Germany about the work I did for her son. So her son at this time was 9 years old, and he was, let's say his behavior was challenging for the family, also in school, and he was, it was talked about HDHS and things like that. So I recommended to work with him, to do an Advanced Auric Clearing with him. So we talked about it, what it would do for him. So long story short, I did the clearing for him, and his behavior and his whole appearance changed almost completely the next day. So what Elke said, he was so much clearer and more articulate and more conscious in every aspect of his being. So all the challenges he experienced in school and at home and so on were almost gone. So this was really a great success. And Elke now is one of my Advanced Auric Clearing practitioners. So let's go back to this amazing offer I have for you, this Advanced Auric Clearing on-demand service. So the total value you receive for this Advanced Auric Clearing is about $497. And I have a bonus for you in that offer as well. So this bonus is a training. It's called How to Connect to Your Higher Self. It has an additional value of $197. So what this training does is what I will share you in a minute. But it is an amazing value for you after the Advanced Auric Clearing. So the total value you receive is about $694. So you won't pay anything near that amount on this webinar today if you want to take action. But first of all, let me quickly share what the bonus is all about. So How to Connect to Your Higher Self is a free training, a bonus training in this program that teaches you how you can connect to your higher self, which is you in dimensions 4 to 15. Now, as you are free from auric attachments, you have a much clearer access to your intuition, and this is what comes from your higher self. So you will learn in this training how to connect to your higher self so that you can ask your higher self questions you need an answer for. So you learn how to get accurate answers from your higher self. So this is a priceless tool after your auric field has been cleared from blockages. So when I first learned about how to do it, I was so super fascinated, and I really practiced a lot. And now it became really a daily habit to connect to my higher self, to check in with it, to get accurate answers before I make choices. So this is a priceless tool included in this offer only here on this webinar. Now, the tuition for this offer on this webinar, it looks like this. The financial energy for the Advanced Auric Clearing, what I shared with you how it works on this webinar only, is $297 only instead of $497. You get a 40% discount and you save $200 right away. In addition, you also receive a bonus, the How to Connect to Your Higher Self training. I just explained to you what this does for you, and it has an additional value of $197. So this offer is only available here on this webinar. So if you look at the auric attachments we diagnosed for you during this webinar, and most of you had more than 5 symptoms that show that you have all kinds of auric attachments in your field. If you want to get rid of your fears, worries, and anxiety, and of everything that blocks you from living the life you desire, then click the checkout link on the text chat or below this video. This is a checkout link that takes you immediately to a checkout page, and then I get you enrolled on this Advanced Auric Clearing program with the included bonus. So if you want to live your life's purpose and want to achieve your desired outcomes, stop your self-sabotage, click the checkout link on the text chat or below this webinar to get started now. Are there any more questions? Ellen, thank you. It's great to have you here. Amazing that you followed your intuition. Thank you. And Andy as well, thank you so much. Great to have you on the program. Take a moment and interact with this code again and feel the tremendous energy that comes to you when you interact with this code. So you get 2 different codes implemented in your energy field during this service, and you experience just one clearing for your head chakras. You experience then a whole clearing on all 15 dimensions of your awareness to be able to live your soul's mission and purpose. To change your current state, you have to take action now. As you know, as you learned, information does not equal transformation. Only the application of the information leads to the transformation you want to see in your life. So take action now to change your current state to be able to live the life you desire. Oh, thanks again, Julie. So happy to have you as well on the program. Amazing. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Very grateful that you followed your intuition. I see you there. Use the checkout link below the webinar or in the text chat, and I see you on the program. Thank you so much. I hope you got a lot out of this webinar, and I'm looking forward to say hello to you on a future webinar as well. Act now. Thank you. Talk to you soon.